Making the most of people in life is not really what we're talking about today. Making a life worth living and a retirement that is reserved for us later in life when we're old, gray, tired, and full of less life is really what we talk about on a regular basis. It's not so much that we talk about the subject and try and sell you some financial planning or any sort of literal aspect of life. It's that we're just reminding you that life is about building careers, relationships, and openly producing programs, performance, and other productivity that provides for you in the little ageless aspects of life. You see, the mind doesn't necessarily go late in life, the body simply does. And frankly, it's harder to get up, it's harder to move around, and it's literally harder sometimes to do a lot of things. My mom is a great example. She is very little. She's quite spry for her age of 85, but openly she takes her time in the morning. She sleeps in. She literally goes to an exercise class to help her keep her body moving, and she's one of the more emotionally intelligent, if you will, and physically sound individuals who participate in that group class. She's a high promoter of nutrition. She openly talks to people at dinner regularly about their food intake, and literally to the point that they get a bit annoyed, but she means well. And practically, what we have to think about in life is how are we helping other people to see themselves clearly? In my family, I have several siblings who openly think that they have some little right to give me comment, suggestions, ideas, and literally promote me in some way as though I don't really want their help. That's actually not true. I just haven't asked for their help. You see, the literal difference in between trying to help someone and providing them the help that they require is only a matter of ideology. In my life, I've got a mom who insists I don't want any help. That's not true. When I literally ask for specific help, she says no, so I don't bother anymore. Because anything I practically would like to have as help that makes logical sense to all the facts and details that I'm managing for struggling through a homelessness situation is that literally she is not me. She cannot possibly manage all the details because she is older, and openly she has other people in my family to manage a lot of her life. At my age, I'm fully capable of managing my own life. It's just that when you try to put it all together, when you're being pursued by sheriff or harassed by people who literally think they have the right to your physical body in some way, shape, or form, or the thefts that have been going on in my household items, it makes it sort of challenging to manage it all. And practically, I can't watch every little thing I put in a car. The locks on my vehicle should work, period. Whether I'm literally in the car or if I'm outside the car, literally going to the store or going out to simply use the restroom. You see, in life, men and women think our locks are safe. But in truth, locks are produced in mass, and they literally sell them in mass. They don't literally think to intermix the numbers and put them in intermixed numbers on the shelf because some people literally want to have the same lock for every single door of their home. So they all have a common number which allows a person to know that they have the same lock. But if we practically go to the store and purchase a lock and someone is watching us and they decide to pick up the same lock afterwards, they might actually follow us home and prove that they can open our door once we put the new locks on. Now, do we live in a society that does that? Absolutely. Why? I don't really know. I cannot possibly understand why someone would want to violate someone else's federal rights of literally entering their home or household goods and stealing things. I don't understand that mentality. I openly remember when I was a child. I think I was maybe 3 years old. I can't have been very old because we were still in the original house in which we lived, and we moved shortly thereafter. And I literally picked up some thread at a sewing store and I just put it in my pocket. I didn't really understand it was thieving. I just thought it was the bin for kids to pick through. I literally don't even remember the date, but when we got home I gave it to my sister and she said, "Where did you get that?" And I literally said, "Well, I got it at the store." She said, "How do you pay for it?" And well, I didn't pay for it. And she literally made me go back to the store, give it back to the store owner, and the store owner was very kind and very gracious and literally got that a little kid was doing something wrong and my sister was doing something right. She was literally forcing me to take it back to the store, and she was of driving age. That meant she had to have been at least 16. And we were there on her shopping spree, and my mom. Now, that was a long time ago. I've never stolen anything since, to my knowledge, and frankly, I find it offensive that someone practically thinks they have the right to open my pockets in the middle of the night and take things out of them. I had a tool in my left pocket all day for the last week. It's now missing. How does that happen? I have not taken anything out of my pockets. I have not done anything other than sleep at my mom's house on the sofa while my car is in hock because someone thought they'd destroy my battery. Literally, I'm pretty sure the sheriff did it, but that's his not lawful right. Or the people at the impound did, because my car had a working battery when it was towed away. Now, if they killed the battery in order to move the car, they should have told me that. But literally, they charged me $150 for the tow, which could have been towed to a repair shop, but instead it was towed to the impound because I was not allowed the opportunity to make a little decision of who to call to get on the phone to a repair shop late in the day on a Sunday, like they'd be open or even have an answering machine. That's a pet peeve of mine. How the hell do you live in today's world without at least an answering machine? And frankly, it was out of rudeness that that officer removed my vehicle. He just wasn't going to allow me another few minutes to get the car started again. He literally wasted 2 hours of my time because he wouldn't do his job of community service in terms of simply taking my gas can and taking the money in my pocket and running up the road 5 minutes in his squad car to get me some gas. Now, wouldn't that have been a customer service-oriented thing to do on behalf of the city to get my car literally off the street? Now, if it didn't work, it didn't work, but at least then we've just saved 2 hours of my having to walk through the difficult section of the hood to produce myself some money and some gas, and to literally walk back in the raging heat to only sit down for a few minutes in the car when he's literally ready to push on me to force me to take my literal car off the street. Did he stand there in direct traffic and worry about anyone coming along? No. He used his car as a barrier, but no offense, if someone didn't see that, he would have been mashed against my vehicle and I would have been shot the hell out of the car. So you see, practically, it was a ridiculous folly. If an intellectual, educated person had been in the situation, they would have simply said, let me run up and get you some gas, we'll see if we can get you the start going. And the absolute truth is those men are put through mechanical training, I'm pretty sure, and he could have looked the car over, and if they're not, they should be. They should all be literally trained in mechanics of a vehicle, so that they can say, look, here's where the problem is, I think we can get it started on off the road and off you go, or literally, I don't think it's going to work, we really should consider calling some places, do you have anyone you can call? And he didn't ever offer me his phone again. He literally knew my phone was not functioning, and yet he didn't help. Now this is a real story. That's the reality of my audiocasts. I'm openly telling you real stories about my life, the magic and the mayhem. The magic is how God leads me through places, how he literally leads me through green pastures, how he walks me through the woods, how he shows me the animal signs around me and what they literally mean, and frankly that's more exciting than the mayhem of my life. I'd much rather talk all the time about God and how he literally shows himself through the interviews with people who understand him, through the interviews of people who sort of question him, and openly through the different types of native religions and other different aspects of philosophies that come from us around the world, that are literally produced all by a loving Father in heaven, or a divine mother, if you will, of the earth. You see, practically every single little idea that has been produced by a human being must literally come from God, shouldn't it? Especially if we're believing in a divine creator. Now, openly, my audiocast is sort of odd to you today, but I'm sharing information in real time about real things and real concerns. In your life, you have real things and real opportunities and real concerns going on for you. How often do you share those things literally with someone who might be able to help you move yourself out of them? You see, we live in a society that talks a lot about helping people, and people certainly jump on the bandwagon when it's someplace they can get their name or get some fame or literally be captured on television doing good. But when it comes to the day-to-day aspects of other people's lives, how much do we really serve them? How much do we really share our networking contacts so that they can get on further in life? And how much do we practically sell of our own products or services that really move someone into a higher ground. In this audiocast, we're talking about a lot of different little things with a lot of interesting little concepts. But the question really is, have you listened carefully enough to hear them all? In this marketing moment, if you will, I'm talking about the magic and mayhem of life. This has been Blake Ensign of Communications LLC. I really look forward to hearing your comments on what I've shared with you today. Thanks for listening.